you smell
What raw
is cooking?
Good morning, afternoon, or evening to you, depending on where you're watching this from in the world. Scooter here, Rob, back with my first video of 2017 and my first podcast of the year as well. If you're watching it on, watching on YouTube and listening to it on SoundCloud, whatever is your bag, really. Yep, haven't uploaded for quite a while. It's been a crazy end of 2016 and a crazy beginning of 2017. But I'm starting off with something, a completely different topic to normal for the podcast. It's normally wrestling or F1, but this video is it's based on video games and a topic which is near and dear to my heart, as I'm sure many people it would be the same if you grew up in the 1990s, especially in the early 90s. If you were a gamer in the early 90s, you were one of two things. You were either a Sonic fan or you were a Mario fan. You were Nintendo or you were Sega, and I was a Sonic the Hedgehog guy. I grew up with Sonic. Sonic was my franchise of choice. I was addicted to it, and I remember playing those games for hours upon hours upon hours and just being in love with the whole franchise. There was cartoons, there was merchandise, there was all these different things for Sonic, and I couldn't get enough of it. I remember travelling 40 miles in the car, because back in the day where you'd advertise your stuff in the paper. None of this Gumtree and Facebook sailing stuff. You advertise stuff in the paper, and people would travel from all over the area to come get your stuff in the paper. And someone was selling a Sonic the Hedgehog curtain set, a duvet set, and a lampshade, and it was all Sonic themed. And I had that, and that was in my room for several years. I mean, I was like 5 at the time. But I remember getting that. I remember being absolutely addicted to Sonic the Hedgehog, having the cartoon series taped on video to watch over and over again. And I loved the games. The games I'd grown up with them, and even into an adult. I mean, I'm 26 years old this year, and Sonic the Hedgehog will never go away. And 2017 is set to be a huge year for the franchise. What with Sonic Mania coming out in the spring of this year. I mean, you can hear the song in the background, the song from Studio Populous Zone 1. One of the playable demo levels, which have been going around various, like E3, I think had it, or whatever. All those conventions have had it. It's a fantastic piece. I mean, I wish I could put it in this top 10, but as you can see by the title, it's his top 10 favourite Sonic the Hedgehog songs from 1991 to 1994. Yes, this top 10 is going to be comprised purely of music that you'd find in the following games, so listen carefully. Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. Now, while some say, oh, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is one game, no, they're two separate cartridges, and that's how I played it back in the day. Any music, regardless of whether it's music for a level, it could be the music for the credits, it could be the music even when Sonic's drowning, it could be one of those things. Any of those things, and it's applicable for the list. So I do hope you've enjoyed this. Now, I am purely basing this off how much I like each piece. This is not a me saying these are the 10 best, these are the 10 worst, etc. This is what I love. These pieces of music are what I love. Your top 10 would be probably different to mine, and as it should be. That's how these things work. I mean, if we all had the same opinions, we'd all be very, very boring people. So, without further ado, let's get into my number 10 pick. So starting out at number 10 is possibly the most iconic of all the Sonic the Hedgehog music. The most recognisable, perhaps. It's the equivalent of Mario's do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. Now, this will be, it's going to be in Sonic Mania, and it's been remade throughout the years, was in Sonic Generations, and it's just a fantastic piece of music, and immediately you think Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, it's one of those ones where, I mean, a lot of these pieces of music won't need a lot of explanation because they are just fantastic pieces of music. This is at number 10. This may seem a little bit low, but I feel this is it's not my favorite, obviously, because it's number 10. I don't think it's the best piece, but it's certainly, the most iconic of all the Sonic the Hedgehog music. And it's a jolly song. It gets you in the mood. It sets the tone really nicely, and as a lot of these levels, the music for these levels do, they set the mood for the level and set the tone. But yeah, this is number 10. I think it's a solid start to this list. I mean, some people might think that's number 1. For me, it's not, but it's a great song nonetheless. I mean, to be fair, it was really tricky to narrow this down to 10. I mean, Christ, there's so many fantastic songs from these first 4 games. So here we go then. I'm going to play a little bit of Green Hill Zone for you all to enjoy, and well, to be fair, this is a massive nostalgia trip anyway, the whole list. So let's just get it started with the most iconic piece of Sonic music of them all, Green Hill Zone. All right. Oh, what a great way to start the list. As you can see here, number 9 on this list is also from Sonic 1. It is Springyard Zone. The music for Springyard Zone is a song which, as growing up, I never used to like for some reason. I just didn't like it. I was too caught up with Green Hill Zone, if I'm honest. But it's a piece of music that, since the many, many times I've played this game over the last 20-odd years, I've grown to love it over the last few years. It was my cousin, actually, who was like, how can you not like this? This is like one of the best songs in the entire franchise. And over the years, I realised to know that he was right. Again, it's quite hard to explain why I like these songs so much. It's just got a really kind of... It's very different to the Marble Zone music. So you go from the low tone of that to this very jumpy, happy piece of music that, again, it shows how broad the music in Sonic, especially Sonic 1 and, for the whole franchise, but how broad it can be in terms of hitting you in a certain way when you're going for a certain level. I mean, this probably seems way too deep. I mean, this is just music in a Sonic game. But, that's the point of music in a game, right? It's meant to hit you, and it's meant to stay with you. And that's why Scrapyard Zone is coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is, we're moving away from Sonic 1. We're actually going to move to Sonic and Knuckles. We're moving on to Flying Battery Zone Act 2. Now, truth be told, I struggled to pick between Acts 1 and 2 for this. I love this level, though. The level itself is actually awesome. To be fair, some of these levels are so great that the music in the background kind of goes alongside it brilliantly. And, if you like a level, chances are, the music's going to you're going to like the music by association. But I love this level, but the music is just awesome, and it's just a fantastic. You stick a good pair of headphones on with a good beat, with a good bass on it, and this actually is got a hell of a bass to it if you're listening with the right pair of headphones, which is quite something considering this is a 16-bit era soundtrack that's coming out of a Sega Mega Drive or Genesis if you're American. I couldn't pick between Flying Battery Zone Acts 1 and 2, but I knew one of the two was going to end up on the list, I chose Flying Battery Zone Act 2. Whilst I love the first one, I think the second one, Act 2, just feels like it's just got a bit more oomph behind it, which I think is may sound like a weird thing to say, but actually it's just a fantastic piece of music. The level itself is amazing. I mean, it's a level of two halves when the whole thing starts falling down, and you're escaping to try and get out of the flying machine, and to get to the boss battle with Robotnik. It really adds to the intensity. It's a great piece of music, and that's why Flying Battery Zone Act 2 is coming in at number 8. Alright, moving on to number 7. We're rapidly going through this list. Number 7 is the first time we'll venture into Sonic 3. And there's going to be a few entries from Sonic 3 on this list. And the first one on the list is going to be the music for the final boss battle between you and Robotnik, right at the end of the game. This piece of music it's probably the best boss battle music in the entire franchise. And it's the same, it's featured in Sonic and Knuckles as well. And Sonic 1's, final boss battle music is great. Same with 2, but this is just fantastic, and it really sets the tone for this final encounter. And it's just you'll listen to it in a second, and you'll realise what I mean. There will be plenty of inclusions from Sonic 3 into the list. The reason being, I mean, I'll show you more examples in a minute, but Michael Jackson helped with the soundtrack. It's a long-standing sort of story / myth / legend about this game, but Michael Jackson did help with the soundtrack for this game, and there's times where it really shows, and this is one of them. I don't necessarily know if he helped on this particular piece of music, but there are examples where it's very evident, but we'll get to that. But anyway, number 7 is the final boss battle music from Sonic 3. Coming in at number 6 on this list, we're going to continue with Sonic 3. In fact, we're going to continue with this end game trend, really, because number 6 is the end credits from Sonic 3. Now, as I said, it doesn't have to be levels from the game. This is the end credits from Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, this is an example of Michael Jackson's work at play here, with his contributions to the soundtrack for this game. This piece of music is basically the similarities between this and his song "Strangers in Moscow" are startling, and it's very evident that is either an inspiration or it's taken from that. But you know, it's a great piece of music, and I think obviously that association with "Stranger in Moscow" helps. I love that song. That's a really underrated Michael Jackson song, and this piece of music really does. It kind of make you realize you've beaten the game. It's done. You've done everything the game's asked you to, and it's that sort of, I don't know. I remember when I played this game when I was, would have been 1994. I'd have been about 4 or 5, 95-ish. I probably would have played this game. And I remember getting really excited. I finally got it and I beat it. And I was really sad. I started crying. I was only 4 or 5. Because I was like, oh man, I've been looking forward to this game for months. I think I got it for Christmas or something. Or we rented it from Blockbuster or something. And, it was done. And this piece of music kind of hit me as a kid. I was like, oh man. The problem with these back in these Mega Drive games is that a lot of these games just weren't very long. And therefore, when you finished them, you're like, oh, okay. But that's how it was back in the day. This piece of music's absolutely fantastic, and for this, it's kind of a sentimental reason why it makes the list for me. But yeah, in at number 6 is the end credits from Sonic 3. Coming in at number 5 is a piece of music which I have to say is a little bit of a confession coming up my way here. For about 2 years, this piece of music was my ringtone. I found it on the iTunes store, and I was like, "Yep, this piece of music is going to be my ringtone," and it was for a couple of years. It's Hilltop Zone from Sonic 2. Hilltop Zone is a really quirky piece of music. I just love the intro. It's just like ding 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 ding. It's like, it's so random, but it fits this sort of outback, like volcano hillside. That's the thing. Sonic 2 in a way was the game where the music really fitted the levels the best. It's a great it's a great piece of music. It really is, and as I said, it was my ringtone for a couple of years, so I must really like this piece of music. Out of all the music in the game, this has got to be one of my favourites, and it is. It comes in at number 5. It's Hilltop Zone. Coming in at number 4 on this list is the last time we'll venture into Sonic 1 on this list. It's probably the nicest piece of music in the entire game. In fact, it's great. It's Starlight Zone. I'm not really going to bother with a massive intro to this. It's really, really nice. Great piece of music, and probably the best piece of music in the entire game, I really have to say. No more intro needed. Let's get straight into my next pick, which is Starlight Zone at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we're in the top 3 now, so you must know that these are some of the top music in the Sonic franchise, and oh man, these are some corkers. Number 3 is the best piece of music from probably the best Sonic game. It's hard, I don't know. 2 and 3 are both awesome games. This is my favourite piece of music from Sonic 3. Spoilers, there's no more Sonic 3 after this. It's Ice Cap Zone Act 1. I love this. It so just suits the level to a T. And you can tell the MJ influences as well. There isn't like a direct sort of, this sounds like this. Like Carnival Night Zone sounds like Jam, for example. This doesn't. I'm not sure if this has that sort of influence, but it definitely can tell that there was some help was given to the quality of this particular piece of music. And as you'll hear in a moment, it is unbelievably catchy. It's a really great piece of music. It feels wintry. I know that sounds weird. Ice Cap Zone, obviously, very cold level, snow and ice everywhere. It just suits the tone of the level perfectly. No more talking. Number 3, it's Ice Cap Zone Act 1. Oh, I love this piece. Alright, the penultimate place on this list. Ah, man. I've really enjoyed this trip. I mean, we've still got 2 more to go here. We will visit Sonic 2. And, oh man, this is just a fucking great piece of music. I mean, I can't be bothered. I don't know if I'm going to be bothered to bleep that. But it's Metropolitan from Sonic 2. Oh, this music is so good. It's just amazing. Oh, man. I don't really know what to say about it. It's just, you'll hear it. So, just love the guitar riff in the middle. Just so bouncy. And it's like, you know, you're reaching that final stages of the game because the level's so hard. Such a tricky level. It can go on for ages and ages. But it's just a fantastic piece. And true story, and it's not true story, this is a fact, Metropolitan Zone is the only level in the whole of Sonic 2 which is 3 acts long. And so you get to enjoy this piece of music over and over and over again. It's great. It's really great. Ah, you know what? It's just one of these things. I don't really want to. I don't want to keep talking about how much I love it. I'm just gonna let you listen to it. Here we go. Then number 2 is Metropolitan Zone from Sonic 2. Ah, get ready. This piece of music's awesome. So we've arrived at number 1. Oh, man, have you enjoyed the trip? Yep, the nostalgia has been flowing through me. I mean, I listened to a lot of music for this video just to, get it all together, do some research, decide what was going to be number 1. And number 1 is probably going to be a bit of out of left field for some people, but I feel this is very much more more sentimental for me. Similar to my number 6 entry, which was the end credits for Sonic 3. It is an end credits piece of music. But it's the end credits, as you can see, for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's a very short piece of music. I couldn't think of a better piece of music to end this list on. It's just a lovely piece of music, and it makes you, I feel like you feel like you've achieved something. You feel like you've achieved some good in this little colourful world of chaos emeralds and blue faster than light hedgehogs and foxes with tails growing out of his backside and shit. It feels like a really great piece. Doesn't matter if you've got all the chaos emeralds or anything. The ending in the game, either way, in some ways, the bad ending is the nicer ending because Tails saves Sonic from impending death after the battle on the Death Egg with Robotnik. It's a lovely piece of music. I just love it, man. This gives me tingles. Like, I don't know what it is, but this piece of music above all of every other song in the Sonic franchise, and I think that's the important thing with a list like this, is that what piece of music in this franchise gives you tingles down your spine, whether it takes you back to a simpler time. This does to me. There's some fantastic level music. I mean, there's some happy music, some really jolly music, there's some down music, some intense music, but for all round, it's those moments of almost like as a kid being euphoric. You finished the game, you beat Sonic 2 was hard. That was a hard game. Like Wing Fortress, I remember that level being such a pain in the ass, for example, and to get to the end of the game, especially in this point where you couldn't save games. You couldn't save them. You had to play them in one bash. You had to play them all in one go. So to hear this piece of music, you feel like you achieved something, and that's the important thing. I mean, as a kid, those are my memories of it, and as an adult, this music gives me tingles, and that's all I can say about number one. It's the end credits for Sonic 2. Thank you very much for listening. More videos are coming. Obviously, it's one of my a New Year's resolution is to try and make as much content on this channel, as possible. Going to continue with my F1 career mode and my Resident Evil 4 playthrough. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. When Sonic Mania comes out, I will no doubt be uploading some gameplay of that, which I'm very excited about. That's probably my most anticipated game of the year, is Sonic Mania, because all in all, as much as Sonic has declined over the years and there's been some real duds in the franchise, I'm a huge fan of the originals. I still play them to this day. I still listen to the music to this day. And Sonic Mania is going to be fantastic, and I'm very excited about it. I'm not so hyped about Project Sonic, but that's going to be a big game as well. Hopefully, it's probably going to be a Sonic Generations 2 kind of type of game, judging by the trailer. But Sonic Mania is a game I've wanted for over 20 years, and it's going to be awesome. And that's why the list was made. And this is my number one piece of music. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon. And yeah, enjoy this music. See you later.